Bang, Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point, courage, detail.
It finally happened. The lawsuit they assumed would vanish quietly just detonated the most expensive television judgment in U.S. history. Karoline Leavitt didn't just walk away victorious, she triggered a cultural earthquake. So loud, so destabilizing, ABC and The View are now facing what insiders call a slow-burning corporate implosion. $800 million. That's not just a legal loss, that's an extinction-level blow to daytime TV's most infamous talk show, Whoopi, mute. Joy? Nowhere to be seen. Sunny? Reportedly calling her lawyers again. And Karoline? She's strutting like she owns the headlines. This isn't just a courtroom win. It's a full-blown media reckoning. This goes way beyond accountability. This is karma, broadcast in surround sound. And now, The View, once the empress of midday. Ratings is staring down one brutal new reality: bankruptcy. Keep it locked, because what we're diving into next is pure chaos. We're pulling back the curtain on the collapse. Every twist, every leaked message, every panicked settlement offer, and showing you exactly how Karoline flipped the script on a media giant. Before we get into it, slam that like button if you're sick of the media's double standard. Hit subscribe so you never miss the next. Bombshell, did you subscribe? Good, because this could just be the beginning.
There is so much good news, so much winning out of the Trump White House right now that the mainstream legacy media can't keep up with.
The moment the gavel hit, the world didn't just flinch, it shattered. That $800 million verdict didn't just bruise The View, it ripped through ABC like a sledgehammer to glass. Wall Street didn't see it coming. In seconds, chaos swallowed. Their stock, the media titan once too big to fail, collapsed. Traders froze. Anchors ripped up scripts mid-broadcast. CNBC, they cut a live tech segment to air this bombshell. One ruling, and ABC's market confidence was obliterated. That sound echoing through skyscrapers, not applause. Alarms. While Karoline Leavitt's legal team toasted their win, the empire that mocked her was already crumbling. In Manhattan's ad world, panic spread like fire through dry brush. 4 top-tier sponsors, the ones you see every commercial break, vanished. Not in days, not hours, minutes. A senior network source called it a damn giving way. Every call was another crisis. Every minute, another brand gone. Ad departments went dark. Rollouts froze. Placements pulled. The engine behind The View's lavish look just died. This wasn't turbulence. This was a total rupture. And here's the killer twist. Most networks have crisis insurance, but ABC's policy had a carve-out. No coverage for intentional defamation. And Karoline's case, it was exactly that. Deliberate, calculated, malicious. No safety net, no shield, just ABC bleeding out. Mid-iceberg hit, no lifeboats. The finance wing imploded. Emergency meetings flooded boardrooms. Legal teams swarmed in like EMTs at a 5-alarm fire. Execs flipped budget sheets like they were defusing bombs. Only one question echoed: can we even survive this? And then it surfaced. The word no CEO wants to hear. At first, a whisper. Then frantic texts. Finally, leaked memos. Bankruptcy. 1. Young HR associate messaged her friend, "They're murmuring Chapter 11. This wasn't office gossip. This was reality. Hiring, frozen. Budgets, butchered. Studio travel, axed. Security, slashed. Catering, went from filet mignon to microwave mush. And Karoline, she didn't tweet, didn't gloat, didn't run the victory lap, just silence. And somehow, that silence cut deeper than scandal. While ABC scrambled, Karoline watched. Still. Cold. Certain The View wasn't floundering, it was drowning. And the woman they once mocked as a punchline? She became the storm, but don't blink. Because what came next made the courtroom verdict look like an opening act. That $800 million ruling. It didn't just crush ABC, it turned the spotlight into a laser beam. Zoomed in on 3 women. The faces of The View: Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin. These weren't just familiar faces. They were now legal liabilities. Overnight, TV royalty became cautionary tales. Their images torched. Their careers hanging by legal threads. Not even PR magic could spin this one. behind. Closed doors, the reckoning tightened. Each host summoned. Not to dressing rooms, to cold clinical legal briefings. No glam squads, no producers. Just attorneys, they were told. Plain and brutal. They could be personally liable. Yes. Personally, yes. Financially. Let that sink in. Whoopi, gone was the signature swagger. Sources say she hired a crisis management team, the kind used by fallen senators and disgraced CEOs. Joy stopped attending meetings, didn't answer emails. One crew member said she ghosted her own scandal. And Sunny, the legal mind herself, collapsed. Sources say she broke down in tears. Not for show, not for headlines, but because she knew what others couldn't admit, this wasn't a PR issue. It was career extinction. And still, Karoline's legal team wasn't done. They didn't just sue. They brought a sledgehammer. The evidence? A digital roadmap to media malice. Slack messages dripping with premeditated cruelty. Clips of hosts mocking. Her between breaks. Producer memos assigning who gets to land the hardest hit. This wasn't banter. This was a scripted takedown. ABC called it heat-of-the-moment ad-libs. But the receipts had timestamps, winks, smirks, lined up frame by frame, and then the death blow. A backstage video ABC buried deep in its archive. Joy, sipping coffee, laughing with a producer, then dropping the line that doomed them all. Let's see her sue us for that. The arrogance, the smirk, the entitlement, well, Joy. She did, and she won. The courtroom went still. One juror whispered, "That's cold." That moment sealed the coffin, the smugness, the detachment, the belief that fame shields you from consequences. It shattered. And now, what if this isn't just the fall of The View, but the beginning of the end for all of them?
Think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
Karoline didn't need to say a word. Her silence was deafening, louder than any headline, louder than any legal team's carefully worded statement, because in that moment, the game changed. This wasn't just a courtroom win. It was a reckoning. And for the hosts of The View, it wasn't a stumble. It was a nosedive. No parachute, no net, no one left to save them. And the fall, it had just begun. But what happened next? You weren't supposed to see? Let's go behind the glass walls of ABC's headquarters, where panic replaced power and corporate chaos unfolded like a scene from Succession. Picture it. A glossy conference room, 40-foot table, leather chairs. Once a place of smug celebration, now the scene of a media meltdown. For a few seconds, silence ruled. And then it exploded. One insider called it a funeral with Wi-Fi. Another whispered, "This is the biggest breakdown in ABC history." Because when that $800 million verdict dropped, it didn't just shake the building. It shattered the foundation. Alarms went off. Literally. Internal alerts triggered as execs scrambled to access locked financial files. ABC's crisis team had trained for bad PR. Not for a corporate extinction event. In those first paralyzed moments, no one knew what to say. At 2:01 p.m., just minutes after the verdict, the emergency email hit. Subject line, immediate response, lawsuit verdict. By 2:15, the war room was full. Legal, PR, showrunners, Disney's own. Everyone locked in, either in person or patched in via encrypted Zoom. You could feel it in the air. The tension was suffocating. One exec slammed the table so hard a pitcher shattered. "We let this happen. We enabled it." Another, hands trembling, launched a legal binder across the room. "This is bigger than Don Imus, bigger than Roseanne. This is legacy destruction." And just when the chaos felt maxed out, a junior legal assistant rushed in, face pale, hands clutching a single envelope. Inside, one sentence, one font. Stark Helvetica, we suggest you begin calculating liquidation. Options. Liquidation, a word never uttered around The View. Until now. There was no PR spin for this. This wasn't a scandal. This was nuclear. And ABC was standing at ground zero. Panic broke out. Some screamed for terminations. Fire Whoopi! Fire Joy! Fire Sunny! Burn the brand! Others pleaded for caution. If we move now, one warned, we're admitting guilt. And then The gloves came off, screaming, fists pounding, red faces. One exec stormed out shouting, "I told you not to greenlight that segment." But that wasn't even the worst part, because in the midst of the chaos, a marketing staffer leaked the one document ABC buried months ago, an internal poll, one that predicted this exact backlash if that controversial segment aired. They ignored it. Now, it's Exhibit A in a flood of new shareholder lawsuits. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't the end of the reckoning. It's the beginning of a collapse. But the question no one's daring to ask out loud, was this sabotage from the inside? Or has the empire been rotting for years? And this was just the final blow. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Because something tells me this story isn't over. Not even close.
The most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
They laughed on live television, but they had no idea they were triggering their own extinction. Because what started as a smug joke just bankrupted the most iconic daytime show in American history. This isn't just about The View. This is about the empire that thought it was untouchable and the woman who brought it to its knees. Let's break it down. Not just the lawsuit, but the absolute collapse of an entire media dynasty. Because the numbers, they don't lie. This case didn't just cost ABC $800 million, it cracked the foundation of the network wide open, unleashing a tidal wave of investor fury, class action, threats, and the unthinkable, whispers of total network-wide bankruptcy. At first, execs tried to spin it. This is just a bad week. We'll weather it. But then came the internal memo leak. Ad revenue? Gone. $140 million wiped. Legal fees? $38 million and climbing by the hour. Sponsorship contracts? Voided to the tune of $221 million. But what really bled out? Brand equity, reputation, legacy, stuff you can't buy back, even with our Disney money. And then, strike two. A single clip hit Twitter like a grenade. Joy Behar, post-show, sipping wine, smirking, and saying the 8 words that detonated everything. Let's see her sue us for that. Oh joy indeed. 2 million views in minutes, 10 million hashtags by the hour. Joy be wrecked, chair sunny side down. Whoopi wiped out. It wasn't just a meme storm, it was mayhem. Advertisers panicked. One top automaker halted all daytime buys. Immediately. Syndication deals? Frozen overnight and behind the scenes. Disney execs were reportedly drawing up worst-case protocols. If bankruptcy hits, one insider warned, daytime is over, not scaled back, not rebranded, obliterated. And yet, ABC still believed they could fix it. Maybe a polished apology. Maybe a strategic suspension. Maybe, just maybe, silence would do the trick. But Karoline's legal team didn't flinch. No press tour, no media dance, no counteroffer, just one thing. Silence. Because at that point, there was nothing left to say. The verdict had landed. The fallout was viral. And The View, it wasn't trending anymore. It was disappearing. In less than 90 days, ABC went from, let's make this go viral, to, let's explore liquidation. This wasn't just a PR meltdown. It was the media apocalypse in real time. And the ripple effect? Devastating. CBS called emergency legal briefings. NBC launched a full audit of every unscripted segment aired in the last 6 months. Even Netflix. And Hulu reached out to their litigation teams. Just in case. Why? Because Karoline Leavitt didn't just win a case. She shattered the illusion of media immunity. She proved it. No host, no network, no smug panel of pundits. Is too big to fail. Now, other networks are scrubbing scripts like they're hiding. Evidence. Talk show hosts are being sent to defamation training. Yes, really. CNN contracts now reportedly include narrative liability clauses. That means if a host crosses the line, they pay, not the network. On TikTok, it's been dubbed the talk show takedown. On Twitter, the tags haven't stopped. View bankrupt, what Karoline karma. Receipts over ratings influencers are breaking down court docs like detectives. YouTubers are dropping 3-hour deep dives. And for once, even political commentators on both sides agree. This was bigger than a lawsuit. This was justice, with a side of vengeance. Because let's get real. Karoline didn't scream. She didn't spiral on social media. She didn't sell trauma for clicks. She showed up calm, prepared, unbothered. And then she dismantled the system. One affidavit at a time. This isn't just a story. It's folklore. A 26-year-old outsider dragged the most smug, secure, ratings-stuffed talk show in history into the courtroom and drained it. She didn't yell. She didn't mock. She brought receipts, and the receipts were fatal. Now the conversation is shifting. Some political strategists are whispering 2028. One campaign insider was overheard saying, "She's got the base, she's got the fire, and now she's got the win." They used to laugh when she spoke. Now, they call her the conservative AOC. But instead of tweets, she uses subpoenas. And the scoreboard? Karoline, victorious. The View, vaporized. They laughed at her. She filed suit. They rolled their eyes. She rolled out exhibits. They mocked her base. She made them pay. And for every single viewer at home who's ever felt silenced, mocked, dismissed. This wasn't just vindication. It was poetry. Because this wasn't just about Karoline. This was about every opinion steamrolled on air, every voice snubbed by a smug host, every time someone was told their beliefs were too radical to deserve airtime. Well now, that radical just shut down the studio. And today, behind every closed door in media, there's one new rule echoing through the halls. Don't become the View, because Karoline just proved exactly what happens when you mock the wrong person, when the truth is quiet, but unstoppable. So now we ask, should The View ever return? Or should this be the final curtain call? Is this the end of daytime arrogance and the beginning of a new era where receipts hit harder than ratings? And truth isn't just told, it wins. Drop your thoughts below, especially the bold ones. We're watching, and if this shook you like it shook us, hit that like button like it's a gavel. Subscribe for the next chapter, because trust us, Karoline's just getting started. And share this with someone who still believes big media can't fall, because that myth just exploded, and the woman holding the match didn't need to shout. She just let the verdict speak. And now, everything's changed.